Hey, shalom to the elect of Israel. I want to start by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that were well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect of Israel. I wanted to do this lesson because, I was watching these brothers. This is a clip, I guess, from their camp. These brothers here in Orlando, GMS and the Truth, Orlando, right? And as you see, these if they truly are, Edomites, all right, they came up to camp, and the brothers was just, man, it just goes to show you, like, because the brothers, man, they were bringing out the truth, and I mean, it's stuff that we know. All right, but it just goes to show you how powerful this truth is, and that we're in a different era now. We are truly in a different era, because, these, three are Edomites, because, I mean, they weren't getting it at all. So, I mean, I'm guessing, they were Edomites and everything. But just think about, how back in the days, right, say maybe early 1900s, and prior to that, right? You couldn't talk to so-called white people like this, and the brothers wasn't even like yelling. Not to say the brothers were yelling or anything, because they weren't. All right, they were just bringing out the truth. All right, but to even like talk back and think you could confound a so-called white man, back then you would have got hung for things like that, man. So white woman probably would have tried to call some type of false accusation. See? But we're in a different era. And this goes to show that Jake is coming up. Jake is on the come up, man, and it starts with the truth. Okay? It starts with the truth. And out of all Israelite camps, they came to one of the camps that have the truth, man. This is GMS. Okay? And these brothers are the brothers here in Orlando, or well, not here. I'm not in Orlando, Salakia, but these brothers here are the ones in Orlando. All right? They said after shameful spewing on their glory, Esau asks us if he can leave. Yeah, for now, boy. And that's right. Because I mean, they were trying to ask questions. It wasn't like these Edomites were being rowdy either. Okay? And I'm not going to play the video, but you can just watch it. All right? You can just go to their channel and watch it, man. And these, it's basic stuff, basic scriptures, basically. All right? But let me get this first. All right? Actually, I'm going to get this one. This is Book of Revelation, chapter 11, starting in verse 11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, and if you know what those 3 days and a half are, all right, it's 350 years from the period of 1619 to 1969. And with 1619 being the year, that we came over here in cargo slave ships, right, to North America, all right. And 1969 being the year that the Israelites began to wake up to who they are. So that whole time period in between, Esau was really, beating us down, man. Had his foot on our neck, so to speak. Okay, but here's the prophecy is saying after that time, it says an after, see, so after that time period, because back then we ain't know nothing. As it said in verse 8, we were spiritually dead. We ain't know nothing. We ain't know who we are. All right. And this devil was just spreading lies in there. So this devil was just spreading lies and all types of stuff and just tell us anything about the Bible. Remember, we was in slavery at one point, chattel slavery. Okay. And this devil didn't let us read or write. All right. He didn't let us, he only told us certain things out the Bible to keep us in a subject position to him. All right. But now the Lord has woken us up to the truth of who we are. All right. Where we come from, the prophecies and things. Right. And now we're confounding our enemies. Look at that. The tables have turned, but it's only going to, this is just the beginning. Okay, wait till Yahweh Shai gets back. Then the tables are physically going to turn. But this Revelation 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, entered into them. Into who? In this chapter, it talks about the two prophets. And these two prophets are the northern and southern kingdom of the nation of Israel. So it's talking about so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. You so-called blacks, you so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians being the southern kingdom, and you so-called Latinos and Native Americans being the northern kingdom, right? So it's saying after that time period, the spirit of life, which is the truth. This is the book of St. John, chapter 6, verse 63. And it says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So the words, the scripture, these scriptures, all right, it's truth. All right, the true 100% wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right, was of the scriptures, and was given back to us from the Lord. Okay, and the Lord woke us up to who we are, being the Israelites. All right, and much more beyond that. Okay, it says, but here's the point. It says, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Okay, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Especially these elites. The elites are afraid because when we start to wake up, they start to go down. Okay, let me get this real quick. This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. And verse 4 says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, because this chapter is talking to Esau. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars. And that's what they tried to do when they, called themselves trying to go to the moon, which they didn't do, right? Because, the firmament. Okay. But, but the time they tried to do that, I believe, was what, 1969? That's the same time we started to wake up. So since then, it says, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. And, stuff just kept going downhill, for America ever since. All right. And this also, and the fact that we woken up, this is why, like Apostle Ramlab said in one of his lessons, he was breaking down Ezekiel 37, because that also goes into us waking up. Basically how when, whatever we say, about the scriptures, you always have somebody trying to come around and say, no, it doesn't mean that. No, it doesn't mean that. All right. They just try to, everything we say, somebody always tries to come around and say it doesn't mean that, or we're wrong. But, and why? And also, this is why you have your Vocab Malone, people like him. Okay. Because what? Great fear fell upon them which saw them. So they see us waking up. They see the true Israelites waking up. Right? And it's terrifying. It's terrifying, man. This is the book of Ezekiel 37. But times have changed, though, because back in those days, you would have been hung or lynched for even, talking back to a so-called white woman. Look what they said happened to Emmett Till, that he whistled at a white woman. Now how much more rebuking them with the scriptures standing before them. This is the book of Ezekiel 37 and 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath came into them, which is the the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It says, and they lived. We woke up spiritually alive, and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. You see that? Yeah, and also a part of that is the lies. And Shalak, let me just get this point out. Also, a part of that is what? The lies that the devil put out. All of that stuff is, man, look, that stuff is out the window now. Because this devil lied to the whole world, deceiving the whole world. He put out all these false philosophies and everything, and false, ideologies and things like that. But now the truth has come out, and all of that stuff is being thrown down. You see? And the whole world is starting to, get an understanding. So times have definitely changed. 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 28, it says, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. And here you see it. Okay? Here we are. Telling the truth. And another thing, too, these people don't know a damn thing, man. They don't know a thing. They don't know a thing, man. And it's crazy. It's just, oh, man. They don't know anything. They asked her what sin is. She said the thing that separates us from God. Separates who from God? It's like a one of this. She reminds me of one of them old school Lassie movies, man. That's the time when you Edomites had a good empire. Your empire is falling now. It's going down just like ancient Rome did. You lost that one and you're gonna lose this one. You lost the ancient Roman Empire, and you're gonna lose the revised Roman Empire, which is America. Now after that goes down, here we coming up forevermore, and you're gonna be our slaves, man, along with the rest of the heathen nations for a period of 1,000 years, building up our kingdom, and that's in the Bible. All right, but I wouldn't say they don't know anything. When you watch this video, you're gonna see how these devils they don't know, man. They don't understand the Bible. They don't get it. Times have changed, and here we are, the ones that used to be slaves under them. We're standing before them, telling them the truth. This is all the work and the will of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Right? But it also goes to show you, because brothers will just bring, I would say for the most part, in this clip, bringing out foundational scriptures. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 3, verse 23. It says, be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. So more things are showed unto thee than men understand. Meaning what? The even like just the milk scriptures, the basics of the scriptures. Most of these people in the world don't understand that. That's why they get so confused and confounded. Let me look up that word confounded, man. Salakia. Let me just hold on. I'm gonna just type it in and look it up. Confounded. It says, used for emphasis, especially to express anger or annoyance. Confound, cause surprise or confusion in someone, especially by acting against their expectations. Because these devils, especially Esau, all right, but these nations, they don't expect so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans to know anything. They don't expect us to know anything. Okay? So the fact we, coming out of the scriptures and confounding the hell out of them, all right, which is not our doing, it's the doing of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, right? That's throwing them the hell off. Okay? After all these years of whatever, of everything they've done to us, after all these years, here we are. So if the tables turn like this, to where they, you just flat out, like spiritually flatlining them, what do you think will happen when Yahweh Shai comes back? See, this, once again, it's just the beginning of it. Hey, remember, in Ezekiel, the Lord said this through the prophet Ezekiel. It says, Ezekiel the 37th chapter, and verse 12, it says, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, O my people, which is Israel, it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. So this is a message to the Israelites from the Most High. It says, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves. Meaning what? The Lord would wake us up to the truth, and up to who we are, our heritage, etc. All right, because we, being spiritually dead, as Proverbs 21:16, all right, tells you, is you're without the understanding. So the Lord would give us the understanding, he says, which he has already. This prophecy has come to pass, and you could say, I guess it's still coming to pass. All right, but it says, and bring you into the land of Israel. And that's the next step. You see, so, and we're gonna in Yahweh, we're gonna wait for Yahweh Shai to come and do that, because that's how it's gonna go down. Right, verse 13, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then, see, so that, hey, this is not just some coincidence that the Lord woke us up like this. So the next step is to go home. And when we go home, we're going to have the heathen nations as our slaves and servants. Okay? It's it. So this is just the beginning of it, man. Us waking up. And look, we're not going to do anything of ourselves. We're going to wait for Yahweh Shai to come back, because that's when he comes back, then the power is going to transfer to the Israelites. Esau is not going to have power anymore. He's going to be, you're just going to see him for what the fuck he is, man, the weakest of the heathen. It says, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, Yahweh, have spoken it and performed it, saith Yahweh. Now let me get this here. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 2. All right? Baruch, chapter 2, starting at verse 30, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. See, and that's what we're doing. And shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds. For they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord. And that's what we're doing, man. That's what the elect are doing. Okay, they're waking up to who they are. Okay, verse 34, and here's the next step. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. See, so we're going to eventually go back to our homeland, Israel. That's our homeland. Okay, it's not the homeland of these Amalekites, these small hats, and it's not the homeland of these Ishmaelites, it's the so-called Arabs. All right, it's the homeland of the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, that's whose homeland it is. And we're soon going to go back, man. All right, that's the next step. But this, what's waking up, this is the sign. This is, part of the sign that what we about to, get into our power, our rulership. All right, we about to have the ruler seat, man. All right, but when Yahweh Shai comes back, man, that's it for you heathens. See, we don't think that we just gonna wake up and then go home and then that's it, and you heathens are gonna be fine. No, man, nah. Let me get this real quick. I'm in it with this. Isaiah, no, actually I got something else. Isaiah 14, starting in verse 1, for Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. So we see from the previous scriptures that what? The Israelites are going to be set in their own land after they wake up to the truth. All right. It says, and the strangers, which are Israelite foreigners, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. In verse 2, and the people shall take the heathen, and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. What's the land of the Lord? Israel, the land of Israel. And it says, in that land we're going to possess the heathen nations for what? For servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. You see that? So that's coming. All right, so when we go back to, so one, we woke up to who we are. But the next step is Yahweh Shai is going to come. All right, he's going to beam up his elect. All right, and after a period of time, the elect are going to come down. Right? And they're going to round up all the heathen nations. And the heathen nations are going to serve slavery under the Israelites and build up the kingdom of heaven for a period of 1,000 years. And after that, Esau is going to be destroyed completely, burned. Obadiah 1 and 18. Okay? And the rest of the heathen nations are going to go back to their lands, man. All right? But they're going to be still subject to the Israelites, under us, tributaries to us, etc. All right? But times are definitely changing, man. We're in a different era now. It's a different ball game, Esau. It's a different ball game. Might as well do what you're going to do. Because after this, it's over with. Since I said that real quick, Lamentations 4:21 and 22. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment, so, hey, the cup is talking about slavery. So Edom is these so-called white people. So it said, rejoice and be glad. Hey, you better rejoice about what you got. You better live it up while you still can, while you still got while you still in your power. Go ahead, skydive. Go ahead and explore the world. Right now, you still got the fatness of the earth. Go ahead and do these things. Go ahead and, buy the biggest mansion you can get on the top of the highest hill you can get to and climb to. Because you monkey ass like rock climbing, right? So go ahead and do that. Because after this, it's over. Verse 22, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So our punishment is up. It's over with. So, hey, I'm going to just leave it at that, all right? But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, man. It's a different world now. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, every well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect of Israel. Shalom to the elect.